You know, it's funny, but I was actually going to talk about the Brig changes in the last video, but like I figured, you know, there's enough video and there's a little bit too much to say to fit it all into like 10 minutes plus like adding in like the additional like 15 minutes that this might be. But without further ado, what's going on? It's still my fucking Justin, and today we're going to be talking about and analyzing Brigitte and her changes. I've talked about Brigitte in the past. At this point, this channel has a lot of content that revolves around the character Brigitte, and with the current state of Overwatch and balance in general on Overwatch, I can't even complain about Brig being overpowered anymore or complain about her balance one way or the other. I think that these past 6 months on Overwatch have been really bad balance wise and update wise, and people are just getting really fed up with it. I'm a little bit fed up with it. I am enjoying the game right now, but in the general scheme of things, people are fed up with the lack of things that are being done, with things that very much are annoying. Like, you know, goats went on for as long as it went on, and now we have like new metas with Symmetra Bastion. So I really don't look at the game too critically according to balance anymore, because like there's not enough that's being changed about the game to critically look at balance, and we seem to be coming up with more and more team compositions that are just really fucked. But that's just the general scheme of things. We're going to be talking about Brigitte specifically today, and she's an outlier in my opinion because she was very much overpowered, and currently honestly it really does come down to opinion on if you think she's overpowered or not. I put up a poll on my YouTube channel asking if she's overpowered or not, and people have been going back and forth all day. Like the vote went from she is overpowered to she's not overpowered, then went back up to she is overpowered, and then back down again. So really it's a matter of opinion on if you think she's overpowered, but I'm going to give my take on the changes that she currently is going through and the changes that are soon to come off of the PTR. And in my opinion, she wasn't really nerfed. She was just made different, I guess. Like, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but you know, when changes are made to a character, it's to balance them out. And in my opinion, these changes, they slightly balanced her, but I would just say that she plays differently now as opposed to actually being better or worse. There's some good things, obviously, and then there's really no downsides to what they did to her. And I do know that there's more nerfs incoming, and even that seems like it's going to be really kind of rational. So first things first, I want to talk about the nerfs that are soon to come, and this will be the only thing that I think will actually like impact gameplay as Brig, and that is the overall nerf in the game to armor and it not being as effective. This is good for a lot of reasons, and I think that this is very necessary because armor in general, like even before Brig, even when it was just Tor that could provide armor, armor has always been really fucking powerful. So you're going to be able to take a little bit more damage now, and this is good because now Soldier can stop being so useless as a character. In the world of DPS hitscan, when it's Soldier versus all of these other characters that you could play, Soldier is not the right pick. Now Soldier might be a better pick. I don't think it's really going to help him out too much, but it will definitely be a step in the right direction in making him be a more viable character. What does it have to do with Brig? Honestly, nothing, but it's going to be something that kind of changes up the game a little bit. But again, on the subject of future tense nerfs that she's going to be receiving, her armor that she does from her ultimate is no longer going to be infinite. Now, when I did the This Is Outside Overwatch video, that's one of the things that I criticized the character for, is that when you do the ultimate armor, it stays forever. It stays until somebody shoots it off of you. And that is bullshit. It should have never done that to begin with, and it's so fucking sad that they're just now changing it. I can't be alone to think that it is ridiculous that we have a PTR and we are just now changing this that has been so long since the character has existed, the armor fucking just staying on you until it gets hit off. It's so shitty because when I did the first climb, I would just pop armor as soon as I got the ultimate, and then I would get another ultimate and pop it again. I would literally just pop it as soon as I got it because it's an easy ult to get, and the armor stays on anyway. So like, it really doesn't matter that much. Like, obviously, yeah, it's good to have it when you're fighting somebody so you can get more bang for your buck, more armor during the fight, if you will. But see, that's the problem. There should be a downside to it. I shouldn't have the option to just give it away whenever I want to because it stays. So with the future change that's coming, when you do the ultimate armor, it's only going to last from what I think is 30 seconds. It's on the PTR, and they announced that it will be 30 seconds. And we all know that when things are on the PTR and they're announced, nothing changes whatsoever. The PTR is pointless, and the fact that they say it's 30 seconds is set in stone. Nobody's going to be playing on the PTR. Nobody's going to be looking at the data from the PTR. It's going to be 30 seconds, and then once it's on the live server, it's still going to be 30 seconds. And I think that's really great because now it kind of incentivizes you to think a little bit about when you do your ultimate ability as Brig. These days, I do pop it when a fight is coming out, so it's going to really fit into that sentiment of doing that, and it's not really going to change much in that regard. So, you know, it is what it is, but it is good that it's no longer going to last forever. It's really good now that I can't just give out armor and then like wait for like, you know, however long, like 20 seconds for the enemy team to come and finally push us and then push into a whole team that has full armor. It's good that now it actually goes away. It makes more sense. I know that was kind of a lot, but to paraphrase that, armor won't protect you from as much damage anymore, and Brig's ultimate armor that she gives out will now last 30 seconds as opposed to before how it lasted forever. How big of a deal is this? It's really your opinion, but we're on my video right now, on my channel. Thanks for stopping by. I love you, by the way. Like the video. Surely you're here for that reason because you do like it. But my take on the whole thing is that Brig's ultimate had no downside. So let's say you accidentally did it. There was no downside because they would get to keep the armor anyways. Situation-wise, if you were to do your armor when they had like one push left, like there was literally 30 seconds left and you just did your armor and gave it out to your entire team just to make sure that nobody would get picked right away, you know, the armor stayed and it would pretty much guarantee that nobody would get picked off. And now that it's 30 seconds, you won't be able to do that. You're actually going to have to like figure out when to do it, when to pop it off, and you're gonna have to not get picked in the process of doing that, which you know, how much does that matter? You know, that's what this whole video is going to be about, is how much does it really matter? And I don't really think it matters that much because, as I said earlier, these days I am doing the armor when fights start. Again, situation wise, like if we do have a fight, we win the fight, the armor that I popped during that fight won't stay until the next fight. You know, that's kind of fucked, and that's not balanced. That's not good at all. That was just really unfair, and it was just really babying to the character that is Brig. It's not gonna be like that anymore though. Is it impactful? Maybe. Situationally, it's impactful. The armor nerf in general, is that impactful? Absolutely. Soldier is gonna be like a really, really good character, I think. At least I would hope so. He's not really the pick versus a lot of people, so it's gonna be really good to see Soldier being a more utilized character. Again, this is all soon to come. This isn't even on the live servers yet. Let's talk about the current live state servers, all state farms, Brig. I just had a stroke, sorry. But let's talk about Brig, how she currently is, before this big, quote-unquote, nerf balance change is coming out. They nerfed the shield bash, went from 50 damage to 5 damage, which, that's pretty good. Impactful, up to you. It's opinion. My take on the whole thing is that with the shield bash, I wasn't using it to get a guaranteed kill anyways. I wasn't using the shield bash to do damage, and I don't think that that's a good strategy to use Brig with. If you're using Brig, at the time at least, if you're using Brig shield bash to do damage, then I don't think that's very meta. So really, it didn't impact me so much. And really, if you're playing Brig, you should be swinging, and then doing the whip attack to finish people off, and then trying to figure out when you should stun them so that way the whip can finish them off. So that really doesn't matter so much. But something I have noticed that actually was impactful. There was a literally impactful buff that Brig unintentionally got. I mean, I guess it was kind of intentional because they added it into the game. Don't know why, but they did it. Healing is up to 100 from 80. They buffed it by 20 health points. Why? I don't know. Why not? This has been very much impactful, and I'm going to compare Season 13, where I went to GM, to the current season, and I'm going to compare the healing that I did in both seasons. Now remember, Brig is a healer. In Season 12, the average healing I would do per 10 minutes was 6,393. But now in Season 14, we are up to 8,074. I would say that's a pretty significant jump in healing. In my opinion, that's kind of crazy. It's really good. Brig's a really powerful character. Did she need to heal that much more? I don't know, but also at the exact same time, in Season 12, I averaged 3,883 damage. But now in the current season, I'm averaging 4,481 damage. So explain to me how Brig's shield bash was nerfed very significantly. It was 50 down to 5. Explain to me how the damage was nerfed, but my damage went up. And naturally, since you have to damage people to heal your team as Brig, my healing went up. This is where the very interesting thing comes in. I hypothesize that I was shield bashing more frequently because it did do 50 damage. It definitely did help kill people. And now, currently, because it does less damage and it's not so viable to shield bash somebody to try to get a final blow in on them, now I'm swinging on people more, and since I'm swinging more, I'm healing more, and since I'm swinging more, I'm also doing more damage. Now, in my opinion, that is a very, very possibly unintentional buff. Brig easily heals 10,000 healing a game. She's honestly a better version of Lucio. So it's really weird how their incentive was getting rid of the shield bash, so that way she couldn't get so much picks and she would do a little bit less damage, but all it did was make her do more healing and more damage. It's kind of weird how that works. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe I'm not looking at these statistics correctly, but that's my take on the whole thing. I just thought that was something very interesting because I'm not really a stats kind of guy. Like, I think in the Overwatch community, people are oftentimes, even the developers, they're oftentimes blinded by data and stats. So like, you know, somebody will say, hey, I have a 80% win rate on Genji. Now, does that mean, like, what does that mean? You know, the whole video point, what does that mean? that means that they're particularly good at Genji. But like, does that mean like 100% that them playing Genji is going to make an entire team win? No, because it comes down to what the rest of the team does. Like, it's a lottery. You might have a better chance of winning because you're playing a character that you're better with, but you know, you have to, people don't understand that like this data only gives us so much. Like, it doesn't set anything in stone for us. It only kind of gives us a general idea of what would be best to do and like what's really going on. The developers get blinded by data, like so fucking blinded by this data. In the instance of Mercy, when Mercy was reworked and they took away the big res and they gave her like, you know, Valkyrie and all that, I would hazard to guess that they were looking at the stats of Mercy and seeing like, hey, Mercy players are generally using their guns this much. Now, Valkyrie is a really good ultimate. I don't think it's the best ultimate. I honestly think that it could be a little bit better, but it is very good, especially in the current meta. It's very good. But the gimmick with it where she has like infinite shooting and she can like, you know, go through and like kill all these people or whatever, or like you're supposed to or whatever, you're supposed to battle Mercy. It's just kind of really out there. It's an odd thing and an outlier thing to like make Mercy do. Like, it's never good to be Battle Mercy, and it was never good to be Battle Mercy. So they were looking at data and they saw that there were Battle Mercies and they were trying to impact that somehow. How do they impact it? They give her Valkyrie. But with a character like Mercy, it's not good to not heal your team. Valkyrie is only so good because it affects the entire team. Shooting your gun isn't going to do a tremendous amount. You know, that's kind of situational. But, you know, that's the point I'm getting at. It's like, we get blinded by all this data that we have. And if we go like too deep into it, then it makes us make dumb decisions. Let me rephrase that. If we go too deep into data without understanding the context of the data, then we make dumb decisions. So I bring this up because Brig is now healing more. I would hazard to guess that if I'm healing more, then the other people who are playing Brig out there are also healing more. We changed this to impact like how often she could pick somebody with her shield bash. We changed it for whatever so she would do less damage. But as a result of that, now Brigs are healing way more than they were previously. And the question of the video was, how much are these nerfs going to impact Brig? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to pass it off to you guys. Do you think that Brig healing more is good or bad? Do you think that these nerfs are good or bad? What are your guys' opinions on them? What are your perspectives on them? What would you like to be done to Brig? I just thought that I would share as a Brig gaming YouTuber main man that, you know, give my perspective on the whole thing. I have fucking like a ton of hours on Brig now, and there's no going back at this point. So we're only going to go forward. We're going to learn about ourselves, and, you know, I'm going to keep being a Brig main. Maybe other people will too. It's pretty obvious that they're not going to change her at this point. But yeah, I love you guys. Like the motherfucking video if you enjoyed. As always, I'm Justin, your motherfucking not, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget, I'm going to be streaming soon. Seriously, mark your goddamn calendars. Don't mark it for a specific date, but just know that eventually I will be streaming and opening 400 plus loot boxes. Love you guys. Like the fucking video.